Good morning, trendsetters. It's another beautiful autumn morning here in the veggie garden in Toowoomba again. And I've been waiting not so much for a day like this, but weather like this, so I can plant some of these little carrots. And I want to plant them in pots. I've got 2 pots because I want to just have a little trial. This first pot here, I had about 6-8 weeks ago, I had radish growing in here, and it's just been sitting waiting for some cooler weather so I can plant carrot seeds. And what I'm going to do with this one is add half of this play sand to this pot, and I'm going to use half of this potting mix in there with sifted compost. The main reason for the trial is that carrots don't like a lot of nutrient in the soil. It can lead to excess leaf growth and not much bottom, and also it can create forking in the carrot. Now this little carrot seed is Paris Market 5, and I just call them little Tom Thumb carrots. You can sow them all year round, basically the same as any other carrot, 5mm, quarter inch, 5mm deep. Keep them moist, and you can harvest in 10 to 12 weeks. So with this one, with the compost, I just want to see how far I can push the nutrient level in a pot with growing carrots, and it'll be a good way to compare the 2 side by side, with one without much nutrient and one with a little bit of extra nutrient supplied through compost. The other reason I'm using sand in this pot is that I find this is it's a highly organic, it's a good growing media, but it's just drains really quickly and dries a little. So I wanted to use the sand to fill the gaps in the potting mix and try and hold a little bit more moisture in the potting mix, and also open it up, reduce the fertility, and see what happens basically. So I'll get to that. I'll mix these up, then I'll come back and we'll do the planting. Okay, so this is Johnson's World Kitchen series of seeds. This is called Paris Market 5 Fast Maturing Snack Size Carrot, perfect for containers. How's that? I did read the label before I bought them, but I think they'd be great in your kids' lunch boxes. You throw them in, and when they pull them out at school, they'd sort of pique the curiosity of the other kids. Maybe. I don't know, it's been a long time since I've been to school. Now, an old French variety that does well in shallow, clay-rich or rocky soils where other carrots would struggle. Can also be grown in containers. Highly sought after by gourmet restaurants for the attractive shape and full flavour. Anyhow, steam, stew, casserole, soup and salad. When to plant all year round, where? Direct into well-prepared seed bed. How? Sow 5mm deep in blocks, all rows, 20 centimetres, 8 inches apart, blah blah blah. Care, thin out plants to 2 inches apart. Keep moist and weed free. Yep, we'll do all that. So there's nothing much to do now. I'm just going to make one. I might make 3 rows there, maybe a little one down the side there. See what happens. Now, carrot seed, if you haven't seen them before, are fairly small. Dry hands is always good. Now, all I do is just like pick up a pinchful and just let them fall out in between my fingers. It doesn't matter if 3 or 4 seeds drop down into the row, you can thin them out. Once they're up, or if you want to be fiddly, you can plant thinner, just pick less up in between your fingers and you'll be able to get them out easier. So that's about all there is to it. Now, as far as I can tell with growing carrot seeds, the hardest part is getting them to germinate, as it is probably with most seeds. But the only thing I've found is you don't need to water the whole pot as such. You just need to make sure that the soil surface doesn't dry out. So I'll have a watering can, just full watering can, just sitting next to these. Every time I walk past, I'll just give them a quick whiz over the top, make sure the tops stays moist, and that's it. And hopefully in between 2 to 3 weeks, we'll start to see little carrots coming up. And then over time, another 10 to 12 weeks, we'll come back and we can evaluate if one of these methods is better than the other, or if neither of them work, or whatever. I do expect this one to do quite well, but I'm curious to know what effects the compost in the potting mix will have. My compost is quite gluggy, if you like, clayish, or not clayish, heavy loam. So this, in this pot here, it will hold a lot more moisture than the sand one. The sand one will hold moisture, but it'll be more free draining. So just curious to see which way they go. Obviously, of course, if you've got a garden bed or a raised garden bed, these will grow just as well in that situation. Okay, so just lightly cover them over. Just tap it down a little bit, make sure the seeds come into good contact with your potting mix, or potting medium, whatever you like to call it. There you go. Really curious to see what's going to happen. And here, if you found this video in any way useful or interesting, I'd love it if you subscribed, help the channel to grow. If you've got any suggestions, or if there's anything you'd like to know about, or see me make a video on, happy to work on that as well. Like the video, that lets YouTube know that it's interesting and worth them sharing it to other people. And I'll give these a good water now, and I'll probably check them again after lunch when the sun comes over, in case the surface is dried out. I'll probably give them a water anyhow. And that's it. Carrots in a pot. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Just one other little tip, if you got it, water with rainwater, or a barrel if you've got barrel water. I don't know if there's any effect of using town water or tap water on seedlings, but I prefer to give my seedlings every possible chance of germinating as what I can. So I prefer to use rainwater. Hopefully it's better than tap water, but I don't know, but that's what I do. Interesting, I just watered the pot there that I had the sifted compost in, and it took probably twice as long for the water to drain through as what it did to drain through in this. So that's obviously going to hold a lot more moisture for longer. Interesting, I'm curious.